From shower doors that had the tendency to shatter as you took a shower, to a company that had to recall 36 million pounds of turkey. We take a look at 10 of the scariest product recalls ever to happen. Number 10. Roman blinds. You wouldn't think blinds are a scary purchase until you realize that the blind cords are extremely hazardous to young children. In 2009, a huge recall was issued for Roman blinds after many children were reported killed from being strangled by these cords. 50 million sets were recalled after it was reported that 5 children had passed and 16 more were nearly strangled before they were saved. Next time you purchase a new set of blinds, make sure they are approved by the Window Covering Safety Council. Number 9. Stroller recall. Britax, as of January this year, had to recall almost 200,000 baby strollers after declaring that the stroller had a, quote, partial finger amputation hazard. So if you want to take your baby for a walk and don't want to lose a finger, better return this ridiculous product. The hinge on the stroller's folding mechanism seemed to be malfunctioning and resulted in one reported case of an amputated finger, along with many broken finger reported injuries. Sounds like bonding with your baby got a whole lot scarier. Number 8. Shower door shatter. How many of us would love the surprise of our shower door suddenly shattering while we're taking our normal shower? Yeah, didn't think anyone would raise their hands on this one. However, Kohler Company figured this out a little too late when many reports came in of glass embedded in people's skin and a need for surgery after glass broke their skin. Who knew how vulnerable you could be while you took a shower? Number 7. GM SUVs. One of the latest recalls to hit the news is GM's massive recall to their SUVs under the new CEO, Mary Barra. GM recalled more than 7 million vehicles that reported to have a malfunction when registering correct fuel levels. This isn't GM's first hiccup either. A couple months earlier, GM was reported having to recall 3 million cars with a faulty ignition switch, causing the key to turn to any gear in the car while in motion, leading to a cut in engine power, and 13 deadly reported crashes. Looks like GM has some explaining to do. Number 6. 36 million pounds of turkey. Food can always be a little sketchy to buy at some periods in time, especially for the Cargill company that had a recall 4 years earlier. Cargill was then in trouble in 2012 for a recall in ground turkey that was being distributed. 76 illnesses and 1 death spanning 26 states were reported after consuming their ground turkey after discovering it was covered in bacteria. Number 5. TYLENOL tampering. With a brand name like TYLENOL, it can be a little hard to believe that at one point they had a huge scare. After 7 deaths reported in the Chicago area in 1982, TYLENOL issued a massive recall for their extra-strength TYLENOL that seemed to have been tampered with. The case was never solved. The popular over-the-counter drug was laced with potassium cyanide, an extremely toxic chemical. This caused worldwide panic and resulted in copycats. The FDA mandated a new tamper-proof seal for over-the-counter drugs to stop any recurrences. Number 4. Cantaloupe catastrophe. In 2011, the world's deadliest foodborne illness in 25 years was taking place. A third-party participle traveled to Jensen Farms in Colorado and scored them a superior grade in safety and cleanliness. After the scoring, 30 deaths and 146 illnesses were reported after consuming their cantaloupes. It was discovered by the FDA 2 months after the outbreak that Jensen Farms stopped using antibacterial washes and had positive samples of Listeria bacteria on the equipment and fruit. Number 3. Generation 2 worldwide cribs. One of the most terrible recall tragedies included a false manufacturing of baby cribs in 2010, resulting in the drop side to unhinge and lock the baby in between the mattress and the crib. Resulting in 1 death and hundreds of injuries, Generation 2 Worldwide decided to recall their 1 million cribs before any more tragic deaths were brought upon families. Number 2. Bridgestone Firestone tire recall. One of the most horrific automobile recalls in history included the Bridgestone Firestone tires that seemed to include their treads peeling off, resulting in them blowing out, which could end up having the car roll over. There were a reported 175 deaths and more than 700 injuries linked to the massive recall involving 6.5 million tires. Number 1. Ford Pintos. One of the oldest cases with pretty terrible recalls includes the 1978 Ford Pinto, after evidence showed that the mechanics of the gas tank could be easily susceptible to an explosion if there ever were to be a rear-end collision. Ford knew about the problem, but decided to push through with the sales anyway. The recall was issued after a reported 3 deaths. Millions of people were angered to find out that Ford knew the problem but decided not to fix it. The Pinto established a nickname of the barbecue seat for 4, a terrible way to invent one of the most horrific recalls in American history. If you like this video, why not hit that like button? And remember to hit the subscribe button for more videos every 2 days.